Every morning, as India wakes up, over 50 million stray dogs wake up too. Some call them guardians, others call them threats. Right now, they are at the center of the most heated debates of our country. Are they the most loyal companions, or are they ticking time bombs? Today, we uncover the Supreme Court order, the pain, the backlash, the statistics, and the compassion. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Pratishtha Raghav, and this is Point Blank. On 11th August 2025, the Supreme Court of India dropped a bombshell. It issued a directive ordering the removal of thousands of street dogs from Delhi NCR. It ordered municipal bodies to capture, sterilize, and shift dogs into shelters, especially from high risk zones like schools, hospitals, or public parks. This order was seemingly backed by reports that suggest that Delhi was indeed in crisis. From January to July alone, Delhi had reported 1,000 to 2,000 dog bite cases every day. By mid year, we had reached 49 rabies deaths, with children mauled, elderly attacked, and families living in fear. For many, this felt like long overdue justice. Looking at the other side of the coin, India is also a country where compassion for animals runs deep. Within hours of the order, backlash erupted. NGOs and animal welfare activists called it a death warrant. They questioned that where will these animals go? Our shelters are already overflowing. Removing them from their original territory will only create further chaos. Others pointed to the animal birth control rules, which clearly state that sterilized dogs must be released back into the original territory that they were taken from. The Supreme Court ignored this and seemingly tear apart years of humane policy. Speaking about the local caregiver sentiment, they aren't just dogs to them, they are community members. People foster them, care for them, feed them, and protect them. For many, this wasn't justice, it was cruelty disguised as law. This debate has obviously divided people into two schools of thoughts. One in support for removal and the other in support for coexistence. The supporters of removal argue that why should a child be scarred for life when the state cannot manage dogs? Why should we fear stepping outside of our own homes? They say that human safety is the first and only concern we must have. They raise questions for public safety because of the rising rabies deaths and the rising dog bite cases. They also say that dogs impact tourism, sanitation, and basic civil life. So the only solution, according to them, is relocation or outright culling. But the other side that supports coexistence argues that why should we punish dogs because of a problem that humans created? Dogs live off of our garbage that we leave there. They multiply because sterilization drives are still very underfunded. And they bite because humans provoke, abuse, or abandon them. And there's science here too. When dogs are removed from a territory, new dogs, unvaccinated, simply move in. They become more dangerous because they are not aware of the environment, nor are they aware of the people around them. So they become more hostile and lethal for both the environment and the people. So the cycle basically restarts itself. So the only path they say towards sustainability is sterilization, vaccination, and coexistence, which is clearly stated in the animal birth control rule that we discussed earlier. After a series of intense protests, innumerable petitions, and legal arguments, 10 days later, the Supreme Court finally listened. It issued a revised order. The order stated that dogs, unless rabid or dangerously aggressive, must be captured, sterilized, vaccinated, and then returned to their original locations. Feeding dogs in public spaces is banned. Instead, municipalities must set up designated feeding zones. Coordination between civic bodies, NGOs, and veterinary services is mandatory. In short, no cages, no mass removals, just sterilization, vaccination, and responsibility. So here we stand at a crossroad.
On one side, the cry for safety, for protection from bites and rabies. and on the other, the plea for compassion for the voiceless lives who did not choose this fate. The Supreme Court's final words was clear, but the large question remains, what kind of a society do we want to be? Do we see these dogs as enemies or as reminders of the systems we failed to fix? The answer is not simple, but one thing is, if India is to solve its stray dog crisis, it must learn to walk two paths: compassion and control. Because until we rise to that test, both the child scarred by an attack and the dog abandoned to the streets will remain victims of the same neglect.